Hi everybody, afternoon. Welcome to my watch review of the Squale GMT 300 meter. This is a new model from Squale. It is a 300 meter diver case GMT Movement, 42 millimeter Rolex style homage. Really outstanding value as usually found from Squale. They have very high quality case finishing, as that is the Van Buren's strength was case finishing. They have made cases for many high-end diver brands such as Blancpain and Tag now they make their own watches in various styles. There's the traditional ones, the more specific Squale type that have higher depth ratings. But they do have a series of Rolex homage type watches available, and this is probably the latest iteration of that series. What sets it apart from the usual Rolex homage series is it is now 42 millimeters in diameter, the case, rather than 40. The bracelet has expanded to 21 millimeters from 20. And this is a GMT model, again, as I say, which again makes it a little bit different. Not quite the standard homage. Made in Switzerland, a little bit of Italian design thrown in perhaps. But what makes this different, what really made me go for this one rather than the usual Squale homages, is the GMT, of course. The size being expanded to 42 millimeters in width, as mentioned, 300 millimeter resistance as opposed to 200 meter resistance. And I just thought the face was unique and interesting in that it's kind of a off-white, almost an eggshell white color with the antique patina style lume markers, which do glow quite well despite the patina effect. Now, on the dial and the markers, some people have found this somewhat controversial in that they don't like patina lume. Myself, I like it. I think it's interesting, and I also find that it makes a white dial a lot easier to read. If the markers were traditional white with perhaps a bit of a greenish tint from the lume, it would be a lot harder to read at a quick glance. This, with the yellowish tint, makes it much easier to read a white dial. So there is that. It does have the GMT Master Style dual color bezel. The unique thing about that, I suppose, in this watch, as opposed to the GMT, is that the colors are flipped. Night and day is more like day and night colors. Some people also find that a bit odd, but hey, they're trying to be a little bit different, I guess, and not be a complete outright copy or homage. But the fact stands that they do have the colors differently than the traditional Rolex GMTs. However, that said, Rolex does have various different colors. They have the gold and the brown bezels. They currently have the blue and the black. So there's no right or wrong how to do this. It's just makes it that much easier to read between the day and the night by different colors. The bezel itself is a diver bezel, so it is unidirectional. It only goes in one direction, typical diver style. It is 120 clicks. So it's not the bi-directional 12-click Rolex GMT style. That may bother some people. It doesn't bother me because with the GMTs, the Rolex GMTs with the rotatable bezel, I find I don't actually use that very much because I don't really need to know the third time zone. 2 is enough. I always keep my GMT hands on GMT or perhaps British Standard Time because I have colleagues who work in the UK and find that useful for me. And then my current time, here in Tokyo, Japan, I run regular. So two time zones quite enough for me. I don't really need to mess with the bezel. It is a very nice, high quality Swiss movement, as you would expect from Squale. I think it's a 2836 with the proper GMT module in there. It does have the Cyclops date window, which I think Squale does better probably than anybody else outside of Rolex. It's very perfect, the date itself is perfectly centered in the window. Let me move the second hand a little bit there. The magnification is excellent. clarity, very, very good. You know, there's a bit of, you know, shine on there because there's no AR on the actual Cyclops window itself, but the clarity is you know, quite readable. You know? So again, I find a unique watch. Has a lot of character. It is somewhat of an homage to Rolex, of course, but it's got enough unique things going on to make it its own design. Again, being a Squale, it does have the slightly oversized crown the Squale is known for, the Van Buren logo on it. Extremely smooth, high quality crown. It's probably the best crown I've actually felt, maybe even better than some of my Omegas. Very, very smooth, screws down with you know, complete confidence. No worries about water leaking there. Case finishing itself, outstanding as usual with Squale. The mirror finish is fantastic, perfectly straight, no imperfections. The transition into the brushed surfaces is just, you know, just perfect. I mean, there's just no flaws there whatsoever in design or execution. Again, the Van Buren brand is famous for the cases themselves, so you would expect that kind of quality from them. Going into the bracelet from the case, equally very high quality, brushing, polishing, excellent, very, very smooth links, no binding. It does have the screw style adjustment rather than having to deal with pins. You know, whether one is better than the other or not, the screws are certainly easier to deal with than pins. The clasp is the usual Squale fold over security lock. Nothing amazing or special there, but nothing bad either. Gets the job done. Some people complain that this is a bit sharp and can be a bit of a fingernail mangler, but I haven't found that to be the case for me at all. The back of the case itself has got you know, some nice design on it. You know, nothing crazy, but you know, just enough to make it somewhat unique and give it a little bit of extra character. You know, they get the Squale logo, the shark, because of course, as most people know, Squale is shark in Italian. The usual stainless steel, 300 meters, water resistance, all that kind of stuff on the back of the case. So again, you know, really high quality watch. Price paid was, you know, about mid 600s from GoodOmenWatches.com. Well worth the money. Very high quality, feels great in the wrist. No regrets whatsoever in this watch, and highly recommend it to anybody who's looking for, you know, the kind of Rolex style case with a little bit different, a little larger size, a little different coloring. You know, just a great watch all around. I really recommend picking one up if you need something like this in your collection. That is it and for today, and I will be back with more reviews, so please stay tuned to this channel. Thank you very much and have a great day.